I'll be covering how Project Luminous could be the answer to those looking for more Old Republic content, using the High Republic, and possible flashbacks and history lessons using the Jedi-Mandolorian Wars and the Hundred-Year Darkness to entice fans into a new era of Star Wars content. Project Luminous was announced in October of 2019, and it's supposed to be a new project for Star Wars that's going to introduce Old Republic content in a new sort of way. Likely, it will include the High Republic era, which is a new era set approximately 400 years before any existing Star Wars movies. You have like a golden age of sorts that takes place when Yoda's around 500 years old. So this means that if the project continues as planned, the Old Republic will not be featured. The Old Republic, say in Legends, is a really interesting time period, but it's already been covered, and a lot of that has been canonized already. So I think a lot of the Old Republic that'll be featured will be featured through the High Republic era. See, the High Republic era is a new sort of addition. It's a new era that bridges the gap, or should bridge the gap, between the Old Republic and the Skywalker saga. So characters like Darth Revan, Yoda, Darth Bane, these are all characters that are really interesting. But Darth Revan is very unlikely to show up, considering that's an Old Republic character. Darth Bane, however, is a little bit less old. He's not an ancient Sith, but the events that conspired around Darth Bane will not be taking place during the High Republic era. The rule of two Sith are already around, and so the predecessors to Sidious and his empire are around. Who knows if they'll be featured, but hopefully a lot of ground will be covered in history given and flashbacks given by somebody who has an extremely long lifespan, someone like Yoda. So, I mean, certain things to expect is hopefully new information on factions beyond the Outer Rim. So one of these examples is like the Grisk. It's an incredibly unknown species based on Legends content. I mean, it seems to be that this race is based primarily on the Yuuzhan Vong. And Lucas has at some point tried to canonize the Yuuzhan Vong. And it's kind of an unworked project. It was planned to be in the Clone Wars. If the Yuuzhan Vong were to come into continuity, the High Republic era is one chance that they have to do that. And the High Republic is kind of like almost a soft reboot for the Star Wars community. People love Star Wars, but some of the directions that have taken place in the sequel trilogy with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, people don't like that direction. So the High Republic is a way to kind of re-steer the franchise, rewrite the franchise, and kind of revivify some parts of the franchise. Part of that is using Jedi to explore unknown regions. So recanonizing things that used to be canon, re-exploring different parts of fan favorite aspects of Star Wars. So like the Force. People love the Force, and people love learning more about the Force and different philosophies and factions and things of the Force. And so things like the Bendu, hopefully more things like that are featured in the High Republic. I mean, in all, we should expect that Project Luminous should be a fresh addition to the Star Wars High Republic era. I mean, this is a completely new chance for Star Wars to add new concepts to the franchise. The High Republic era should definitely bridge the gap between the Old Republic era and the Skywalker saga. Hopefully this is a chance to reestablish the history of Star Wars and introduce concepts that will come into play later and in the future continuity of stories in the post-Skywalker saga. This is also an idea, the Star Wars community loves galactic spanning conflicts. However, not every episode, movie, TV show, comic, book or game has to focus on a colossal enemy. Sometimes it can be about discovery, or it can be about travel, or it can be about smuggling, or it can be about one Jedi. It doesn't need to be a colossal, galaxy-spanning epic to be interesting and to grab folks in. And so I think maybe the High Republic era can be a chance to re-explore what makes Star Wars great in a different way from new writers in a new continuity, and hopefully for a new audience that's really interested in this sort of content. Anyway, thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.